Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another episode of Quran Daily, where I read a chapter of the Quran every day for the holy month of Ramadan. My name is Ahmed, and I would like to welcome you to this channel, welcome you back to this channel. And we are going into chapter 96 today, Alaq, which, fun fact, was the first ever chapter that was revealed to the Prophet Muhammad. But we'll get into that in just a second. Before I get into it, I must first explain that I am not an Arabic linguist, nor am I a Quranic scholar. I am not studied in these matters. I haven't even read the Quran completely. I'm going through this journey to read the Quran and discover for myself and see what it means. And I'm hoping that you join me along this journey and learn something yourselves, or you can share some piece of information with me. I may not always get it right. I may be stuck on things. So if you see something from a different perspective, please feel free to share. I love the comments that you guys have been given. It's fantastic. And before we read the Quran, we must always say, A'udhu billahi min ash-shaytan ar-rajim, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, which means I seek refuge from God, from the devil, and in the name of God, who's most merciful and whose mercy is most encompassing. I'm going handheld for my this current session because the sun's shining just the last few hours before breaking my fast during Ramadan. But where are we? Okay, so اقرأ بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. These are the ones that I've also memorized, so I'm going to be reading it myself. I don't normally read them, but just for the next couple ones, I know I have them. I think until Shams is the one that I don't know, but we'll see. So, also, side note, if you haven't seen it, there's a movie called The Message, which is about the life of the Prophet Muhammad, and I highly recommend this movie. It was made in two different versions. One version was in Arabic, and one version was in English. Like, they got English actors. They didn't just dub it. They didn't just add a different audio. They got different actors to speak it. So, like, there's two versions of the same movie, and they shot every scene twice, once with Arabic actors, once with English actors. Like, it's mind-blowing the amount of effort that went into this. Such a beautiful movie. And anyway, you don't actually see the Prophet Muhammad because they don't depict him in media, but the camera is representing him, and he walks up to the mountain where he's receiving his first revelation, and you just hear the voice of Jibreel, Iqra, which means read. And then the Prophet Muhammad replies by saying, Ma ana biqari, which means I am not a reader. I cannot read. And then it says Iqra. Jibreel says Iqra again, and he says Ma ana biqari, and then he continues with this verse, and it's just so magical and so beautiful and so mystical. So Iqra bismi rabbika alladhi khalaq, which means read in the name of your Lord, the one who created. Very powerful. These are the very first words of the Quran that to be revealed. Amazing. And then here you say khalaq is created. What did he do? He خلق الإنسان من علق. He created man from a clinging substance, from sperm, from a clinging clot, sperm and a fertilized egg, so to speak. اقرأ وربك الأكرم. Read, and your Lord is the most generous. الذي علم بالقلم. The one who taught by the pen. علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم. He taught the man what he did not know. Or humanity is an understanding because, like, human, it's not man, it's human. He taught the human what he did not know. كلا إن الإنسان لا يطغى. Nay, indeed, man or humans surely transgress. And I find this as a beautiful expression, and I've had arguments with Captain Ahmad about this, but I believe this to be true. I think humans by their nature are to make mistakes, if we're left to our own devices, we can kind of hurt others, be greedy, be selfish, be a lot of different negative things. So I do think that, like here it says, nay, indeed humans are surely transgresses. And then it continues with the humans that transgress. And ra'ahu staghna. If he sees himself, he thinks he is self-sufficient. So once they think that this is about the humans that are transgressing, once they think that I'm all that I need, I've got all that I have, I've got it all. Inna ila rabbika ruj'a. Indeed, we are to your Lord returning. To your Lord is the return of all. So here it's kind of reminding us that even though you think that you are everything, and you've everything that you've achieved is because of you, you have to always be remembered that we are returning to God. أرأيت الذي ينهى. Now here we see a question that's being asked. Have you seen the one who forbids and denies? And we see what he denies in the next verse. عبدا إذا صلى. A slave if he prays. So here we're talking about the people that not only are disbelieving but are like denying a slave from praying. Like this was more so in the olden times than they do now, because now we have a bit more freedom of religion, so to speak. And then it continues with more questionings. أرأيت إن كان على الهدى. Did you see if he was upon guidance? Did you see if this... Now here they're saying if the servant... they say if the servant is rightly guided. For me, I understand it as... have you seen... Because here it's talking about the person who's denying. Have you seen the person who's denying a slave when he prays? So I think it's still talking about the person who's denying. Have you seen if he was guided? And it's almost rhetorical, like if he was guided. And then it continues. Or he أو أمر بالتقوى, or he enjoins with righteousness. So I think this is talking not about the servant of God, but the person who's denying the servant of God. And have you seen if he was guided or if he was righteous or encouraging righteousness? أرأيت إن كذب وتولى. Have you seen if he denies and turns away? Again, all three of the questions are not about the servant, but about the person who is denying. Yeah, the man persists in denial. ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى. Which, does he not know that God is seeing? So the person who's denying and turning away, does he not know that God is seeing? And then here is an interesting expression. كلا لئن لم ينتهي لنصفعا بالناصية. Nay, if he does not desist, does not stop doing what he's doing, then surely we will drag him by the forelock. Now, the forelock, I think my mom explained it to me as their forehead. What does the forelock mean? What is it? The lock of hair growing just above the forehead. Okay, so here they're saying, yeah, nasam bin nasiyah. And then here it describes the forelock. ناصية كاذبة خاطئة, which means a forelock that is lying, that is sinful, or that is wrong. That is, mistaken is another word of it, translating wrong, which translates to lying. But it's like such a vivid description. فليدعو نادية. So let him call his associates, the person that we've been asking the questions about, that has been denying a slave from prayer, that is guided or serving righteousness in denial and turns away. We'll grab him by his forelock, so let him call his associate. And then here it says سندعو الزبانية, which means we will call the wardens of hell, the angels of hell. And such a zabani, you just think of these like strong, tough creatures that are ruthless in their power. And then it ends with كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب, which means nay, do not obey him, but prostrate and draw nearer to God. And this symbol means that we must prostrate, and I will do that right after this video. Whenever you see the symbol, you must stop reading and you must prostrate. For me, this is a magical phrase, a magical surah, as we say, chapter. Alaq. Alaq obviously is the start. Have you seen? Which means the semen. It's not semen. It's not egg. It's like a fertilized egg, I think. خلق الإنسان من علق, a clinging substance, a substance, which again, this is before humans had the ability to look beyond the surface level to kind of see that the embryo is formed on a cellular level. Beautiful surah, and I love it very much. And as usual, we always say صدق الله العلي العظيم, which means trusted is the word of God, who is most merciful, who's most elevated and most high. And I thank you for joining me on another journey, and catch you guys tomorrow for the next one. مع السلامة. Bye.